Oh, thank
Alrighty,
goodness.
welcome everyone to another episode of the Shop and Tread Talk podcast. My name is Aniz, and we've got Frank and Nicholas here with us today.
Frank is
Uh,
here.
Before we get started, just want to make sure you know that you can find us on YouTube and Spotify. Just look us up on the Shop and Tread Talk podcast. Please like and follow the podcast on there. And yeah, we really appreciate the love, man, and woman, I should say. And Frank, please introduce our guest today.
Well, I don't know how to introduce a guy like this. We met at Tools, so this is where Nicholas and I met,
Mhm.
um, and we didn't get a whole lot of time to chat, but just enough to get to know each other a little bit. That we have some of the same interests in cars, and find out later about motorbikes as well, and find out that he has the bike that I want. So, a little bit jealous here. But, anyways, yeah, Nicholas, if you want to just let us know where you're from, kind of what your role is in your shop and what you do, and then we'll get into it and have a good conversation.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Sure.
That was a nice invite. Getting that message. That was really special. Hey, I'm Nicholas Ierubino. You can call me Nick. Don't call me late for dinner. Um, I'm the I'm second in command shop foreman, Mark's Auto Service in Gillette, New Jersey. I live in Bernardsville, New Jersey. If you want a real quick um, location on me, I literally live 10 minutes east of, I'm going to say the T word here, Trump National Golf Course. Said the T
Okay.
And
word,
we'll
sorry.
Is
stop
that
the
is that
podcast
Right.
where
right
that
there.
is that where that
Yeah.
mysterious bullet was?
No,
I'm
no,
just
no. That's where he shook hands with Chris Christie in front of that wood door. They're shaking hands.
oh yeah.
During his campaign. So yeah, that's where I live. So everybody says Jersey's you know bunch of diners, drive-ins, and dives. Well, they're all drying up. But I live in a pretty nice section of Jersey. I really do. It's
Yeah.
I'm an hour and a half away from New York. I'm an hour and a half away from Philly. Hershey was 3 hours. It was a nice drive down 78
Not bad.
to not quite 81.
Mhm.
I can be in North Carolina in 10 hours. I
That's
can
great.
be in Iowa. I won't tell you how fast I get to Dubuque, Iowa. I have family back there, but we'll just say I can be there in relative fashion. And I just came home from Laconia 2 Sundays ago, so that was a 6 7 hour ride. So it's a great area, and I have property here. I have a 2 family. I tried to build a life as much as I could based off of our profession.
Yep.
Played my cards right. Tried to get whatever extra I got every day or every week, bonus or whatever.
Mhm.
I threw back into myself. So I have
That's
a
great.
shop again in my corner that I work in.
That's great.
It's good. It's good to be able to invest back in yourself instead of investing in everyone else all the time.
Yeah, well,
So
I mean that's the whole point, though. You want to invest. You want to get the industry farther along. Not
Definitely.
everybody wants to be there. They just
right.
get intimidated or just can't get there.
hmm
Nicholas, have you always wanted to be a mechanic?
No, actually, I wanted to be an architect way back in the day. I'm not
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
Oh,
I want to build buildings and make them look pretty.
So now you fix cars and make them look prettier
Yeah, yeah, make them look
huh.
yeah,
and better.
better. Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, sometimes you
Tell
can't
me
shine the turd, but you know what? You can get it down the road.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, that's the half the game right there, just to get it going again.
So
Yeah.
how did this come about? So basically, you want to be an architect, and then kind of if you want to bring the listeners to where you are now, kind of from the beginning, in the Cliff Notes
Um,
version.
architect as a little kid. As I got older, I got involved in band class, all that stuff. I was a band geek, film study student, whole 9 yards. Um, graduated with honors from high school and everything. Went to University of Iowa for a semester. It ruined me. Um,
Yeah.
Really?
I got in there and I just said, wait a minute, wait a minute, Gen Eds, hey, I'm here to like go out in the world here, like
Yeah.
help me out, like I don't think taking another 2 years of Gen Ed, which is a condensed version of high school, is really going to help me out. And I've already declared my major. At the time, I've become so involved with music and everything and film, and I was actually creating my own little movies and how tos
Mhm.
with my grandfather's VHS camera. You know those old VHS cameras used to sit on your
Yep.
shoulder way back when.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it. I was making it work. Um, and I got there, and I was just no, it doesn't work like that at college. And I'm like, this is a Big Ten school. Come on, it's time to go. I'm paid. Let's go. And they're like, no. So after the first semester, I went, nope.
Not for me.
Second thing I was good at, working on cars.
Yep. And then you kind of found your passion from there.
Yeah, I mean, I was always a little bit of a petrol head. Car goes by, it's like, ooh, look at that.
So,
Drool starts
so
coming out of the side of my mouth.
with all your film studies, then how big have you created your TikTok account? Because I see your videos every once in a while.
So I'm not on TikTok. I
Is it?
have personally boycotted it only because I don't know how it is in Canada, but in my country, they're using it for dumb entertainment value. That's the actual algorithm. And I don't want to be a part of dumb entertainment value. Now, I don't know how I don't know how Jeff got in there. I don't know how Check Engine Chuck got in there because it's not dumb entertainment value with you guys, but maybe you guys are changing the algorithm somehow. But I just decided, I was like, no, I try to stay away from brain rot. That's, that doom scrolling. I try to stay away from it because it just sucks you in.
Yeah, it does.
Next thing you know, it's midnight and it's like, dude, I got a timing belt to do tomorrow. I got a timing belt and alignment 4 tires and something else to do tomorrow, plus whatever else the guys throw at me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it can definitely be time consuming. I mean, once you start scrolling and you see one video after another, and I can definitely appreciate that. For myself, it's more just for fun, and we've got a lot of guests off there, and meet a lot of cool people. We don't, at least I try not to doom scroll as much as possible, but sometimes I start going from one automotive video to another to another to another, and then 19 messages later, it's been like 2 hours.
You use it for when you're on the toilet. That's what it's good for. It's
I'm
great.
doing Jim's today's class when I'm on the toilet. I know he wants to hear that. You met Jim Kokonis, right?
No.
Oh, Brian Pollock's buddy.
Podcast before.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim's really cool.
Super smart.
There's somebody who's done everything, and he's bringing it back down to our level a little bit, giving back teaching.
Yeah.
And then, well, you met Brian Pollock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Very smart guy.
Yeah. He blows me away every time he says a sentence. I go, oh, I got a lot to learn, which is part of the industry. You never stop learning, but you kind of go, oh yeah, I'm definitely the kid in the back row eating cake compared to him. He's
a super hold
a candle
guy.
to that.
Some really of these smart guys are just so incredibly smart, and just being able to learn from these guys through either the videos, the TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you're getting your information, or when we go to the live events and learning there, it's like, oh man, this is phenomenal.
I mean, you get access to guys like, you got access to Brian, there's Brandon Steckler,
yep.
There's Scanner Danner. I mean, that guy's a legend.
I just saw one of his videos just a few minutes ago where he was teaching a kid, and it reminds me so much of when I find something really cool, especially electrical diagnosing, and I, like this last week, I had 2 different situations, and I'm going to call the guys, stop what you're doing, come over here, I got to teach you something. and then I walk them
Yep.
through the steps of what I learned and how I did what I did,
That's what it's all
and
about.
they're looking there, they're dumbfounded, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm teaching somebody. This is exciting,
Yeah.
and I'm still learning, but I'm able to teach them too. So it's really fun that way
Yeah.
to be able to learn from here and then pass it along.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's what we want to do, right? That's how you further the industry. You get the profession, you get people involved, and you go, get that little spark running.
And
That's what
and
you
you
got
know,
to do.
make it okay to make mistakes too. I mean, it's okay to make a mistake. That's how you learn, right? And not
Yeah.
everyone's going to get it right the first time,
As long
unless
as you're
you're
not
Frank. He
making,
gets it right, every time. But
yeah.
other than Frank, some of us have to make one or two mistakes here and there.
You know what? The thing is, I draw my energy from my hair, so that's why I'm able to fix the cars the
That's
way
all
that
the hairspray, Frank, getting to your head. Maybe I got to start using more hairspray, and maybe
I
I'll
actually
start
don't.
actually diagnosing cars instead of being a shop owner more.
I actually don't use hairspray. Here's the secret: I don't actually. So
What do you use, honey?
don't.
It's probably some of that beard cream. He just puts it up there.
I gotta get some from Bruce when I see him at ASTA.
You gotta
Hopefully,
get in touch with Josh Parnell, the bearded leader. So
Yep.
he's actually got a company
that's too
that has
much.
all this different kind of beard oils and stuff like that.
Well, I could
Yep.
do that,
Yeah, he's
but
got all kinds of
Yep.
stuff.
I don't know. Is Compton into that? Maybe ask Jeff if he uses
I
something.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
I'll have to
I don't
message
think
him
I don't
later
think
and
he
ask him
owns.
now.
I don't think he owns a beard comb.
I think he's got a good beard, so I'm sure he's using something
Yeah.
interesting to keep it all tidy.
That's a full beard.
Yeah.
It's got to get heavy after a while. I don't
I
get it.
haven't seen him in person since ASTA last year, so in a couple months I'll have to analyze it a little more. Are you coming to ASTA, Nicholas?
No, I'm not coming to ASTA,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's too bad, buddy.
Well, hey, Lil, here's the other side of all this. I'm a regular at Super Saturday down in
Mhm.
Trevose. I'm a regular at the big event up in White Plains, Jerry's event. I'm now a regular at Tools. I couldn't go before because it was always Lake George Rally Americade, and then the one year we decided to do Laconia, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go do Tools," and I went,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm hooked on Tools now."
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's a great
that
event.
weekend is actually King of the Baggers in Millville, New Jersey. So it's the bike races, Frank. Too bad you couldn't come down for bike racing. Um, but it's the bike races, and I already bought my tickets. I mean, as soon as they went live, I bought the ticket. The date wasn't even set for ASTA yet, and I was like,
Oh man,
ah,
and it's the same weekend.
but yeah, same weekend. So, for 25th, 26th. I gotta go look, but it's that weekend. All I
Oh
know is
man.
Friday night. I'm leaving my house. It's about 2.5 hours south of me. I'm leaving
Yep.
my house. I'm getting on the road on the bike because I got an opportunity to run around that course with the Challenger. They
Oh
actually
wow.
take you out twice during the weekend around lunchtime, and you can actually go around the course on your motorcycle. So
Oh wow.
Ooh.
it's one of those life events. You're going back and forth. You're trying to balance it all, but you also have to realize it's life events. And I didn't do that for decades, and now I'm finally to the point where I'm trying to live life a little bit.
But Nicholas,
Yeah.
the difference is you are actually going to multiple trainings, and it's not like you're not going to any, and you're gonna go take your bike out and race and stuff like that. You've attended stuff, so kudos to you for doing that, man. Because I think this is great. Do something for yourself because at the end of the day, we work so hard, and sometimes we don't do things for ourselves. We're so busy, turning wrenches or paying bills or staring at Frank's hair.
It,
All the stuff that we
it
dream
was
about.
one
But
more car for me.
yeah,
It still is a little bit. I get a little. I could fix that car. I could get that done. It's not ego.
yeah,
It's more of a self of accomplishment. But it's one more car. It's one more dollar. If I could get this car done tonight, I got the extra $50 in a paycheck. That extra $50 is going to pay off that hammer, and then once I get the hammer paid off, I can start saving for the scope. And it was all about that, and it was all about paying your dues. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
And about 6 years ago, when the whole world imploded on itself with COVID,
Mm-hmm.
um, I started listening to Lucas and Dave, and you know what? They were right. You gotta stop. You gotta smell the roses. You gotta, plumbers and electricians are professionals. How come they can't keep it under 50 hours a week? And they're
It's
technical professionals. I mean, the contractors around here work from like 6, 7 in the morning to maybe three, maybe 4 in the afternoon. They got a project going that they got to hustle. Okay, some will work overnight, but still, it's 40 to 50 hours a week. How come we can't do that as professionals? I have all this. I have like, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks worth of time as part of my compensation. How come I can't take it? And I started taking.
good. You
I
gotta
I
you
did it
gotta
for years. I think 14 years. I took 2 vacations in 14 years, and now we're like, no, this is stupid. We're going to take regular vacations now, regular time off,
Yep.
and any opportunity I get chance to take time off, I'm taking it now. Because same with you, I realize that at some point in life, you can't just work all the time. My family, my wife, my kids, they're like, oh, you're a workaholic. I'm like, no, I love working. I really enjoy working. But when it's time to take time off, I like it. I will go. I will take that time. I will went out for lunch with a supplier today, and I'm like, this is great. I just walked away from the shop. Whatever happens, happens. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going for lunch.
But could you have done that last year? Last year, you probably would have thought a lot about that.
No, and that's the thing is we weren't there. Like this year, we're finally getting to that point, and we've been working hard for 6 years to try to get to that point
Mhm.
where we can just take some time off and like in September when we're going. Well, we have ASTA in September, but I've got like pretty much I've almost got 3 weeks off in September where I'm not going to be at the shop, and I'm hoping that we're building everything up so that when I'm not there, that everything will be able to function.
Yep.
I'm sure
That's a
I'll get a
lot
few
of
phone calls
procedural
here and
stuff.
there. Yeah, but it's a lot of work to get to that point. But if you don't work your business to that point, I've seen business owners, I've seen shops where they never built their shop to do that. They never built to get to the point where they're like, hey, um, I want to be able to step back from it, and they just literally are there all the
Yep.
time and never get to leave. And I don't want that. Like I said, I love working, but I want to be able to get away from it. I'd love to go to a great bike event, right? But it's not really what I do. But it'd be cool, right? Now I got this old car, so now I'm like, hey, I got to go to car shows. There was one just in town today, and I just got there at the tail end of it because it was actually in the grocery store parking lot. So I just pulled in and talked to the guys, and they're like, I was like, oh, what time does this normally start? And he's like, oh, people show up like 3 o'clock. I'm like, holy
Three.
crap, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, maybe I could try to do that, but maybe I'll show up at 5,
Yep.
5:30. But I ain't coming at 3 o'clock. But well, I guess if I get into
Yeah.
that scene, then maybe that's what I'll do.
If you look back, when we first started even this podcast, Frank. I mean, if you look at the way that we're kind of going off a little bit of a rabbit hole, but from the way that we were talking when we first started the podcast till now, with all the great guests, including you, Nicholas, that we've had, and we're learning so many different things from everybody. And I'm a lifelong learner. I mean, that's what it is, because I'm never going to have it completely right. I'm going to learn every day. But talking with all these great guests and learning little tidbits and little golden nuggets from each person, it really makes you realize that, like, there's more to life, man. Like, we're all going to be wrenching, we're all going to be, if we're owning a business and paying bills and doing that, but at the end of the day, you know yes, as long as we're all going for training and upgrading ourselves, whether it's training can even be, I'm calling Nicholas. Hey, Nicholas, I need some help with this. Have you ever dealt with this? Bam. And, we talk to someone, and look, I just got trained, and he's helping me out, or talking with people in the industry, or going to a training event. If you're doing something like that, And you should never feel bad that, I'm going away for the weekend on a motorcycle trip, because that's what I'm doing for myself, my own mental health, my own, uh, you know, enjoyment. And that's all good, because you're doing the right way, man. And kudos, hats off to you,
When
buddy.
therapy is real, when
Yeah.
therapy is real, I cannot tell you.
It is
So
fun. There's something about riding that just makes you really enjoy life.
But see, there's
yeah,
there's there's more to life than just wrench and everything, right? I mean, you gotta do stuff for yourself. If you're in the shop, and I know tons of people that are in the shop 6 days a week, and the only light of day they see is, for a second they go out for a smoke or whatever it is, and they're right back into the dungeon turning wrenches. And like you said earlier, just one more car, let me finish this one. It's almost done. Then that's one less I got to worry about tomorrow, and one less I got to worry about this day. And by the time you look at the watch, it's 6 o'clock and you're still there, and your wife could be calling, where are
six
you? Or your kids
o'clock.
be calling, like.
Look, when the chips have been down because fluctuation in personnel and stuff, and the stuff middle still got to move. I have pushed myself over the limit. I mean, 2 o'clock in the morning and turn back around and show back up at 8 o'clock, bright as a daisy. I've done it. I've done it too many times. Actually, I got really, really, really sick around the holidays because of it. Because I had to let one go because he put the roof of a brand new Subaru because it was cold that day, so he brought it in underneath the Subaru and he jacked the car up and put it into the tires of the Subaru. He jacked it under. And I was like, oh my god!
Oh
So that
god.
was a mess. I had to let him go. It was just too many. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, we were able to take care of it. Took care of it for the customer. I have a great body shop to work with, and he's bar none probably one of the best guys around. But okay, so we did it. We handled it. We moved on. But I'm like, dude, can't keep doing this. And then like 2-3 weeks later, another guy quits. So now it goes from I'm in the office to back in the shop. I'm producing, I'm formatting, I'm auditing repair orders. The boss is running the back office and trying to find people. Like
Yep.
it doesn't stop. So here I am. I'm like, I just gotta get through the next 2 weeks. I don't have anything else going on. I just gotta get through the next 2 weeks. Just like balls to the wall, nose to the grindstone, the bootstraps, whatever you want to call it. I just gotta get through it. And it got me sick. I haven't been that
Yep.
sick in years because I wore
Yeah.
myself down.
Well, it's a
So
lot of stress having to deal with when you have employees that make mistakes, and it's like, why is that? And then you
yeah,
just
especially when you have a process, can jobs through Shopware and everything. I build can jobs all the time. It's bang, 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 bang. Well, how come I
Everything's
got to
ready
check
to
the
go.
spare tire? And I'm like, why not? We're probably the only
Yeah.
shop I would say in 20 square miles that actually checks the spare tire. Now, if Grandma Smith has got, all her cookies in there for the bake sale, I just open up the trunk, I snap a picture, I close the trunk, and I go, Grandma Smith, would you mind coming back when the trunk is empty? And
Yeah.
yeah.
we'll check your spare tire, and I just mark it red.
Yeah.
But it shows them that at least I'm trying to check your car so nothing happens to you or you can deal with it.
The more information that you give to the customer in the inspections and the reports, it really, on my end, anyone that looks at my inspections is like, wow, you guys really do a good inspection, and it's detailed. And there's no fluff in there. Like, I don't try to fluff it up and make it, oh, your car
Oh
is so
yeah,
nice and this and that. No,
yeah,
you're gonna get an explanation of what's wrong with your car in the same tone. And if you've got one little thing wrong or one major thing wrong, it's gonna be the same tone. We don't try to fluff it up and try to make it look like
yeah.
your turd's wrapped in gold or anything.
I had a couple guys doing that in their write ups, and I'm reading through it as I'm auditing, and I'm like, this is needed for optimal performance. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. Trying to sell a job
no, no.
like in the wrong way.
You're, yeah, your brake fluid failed the moisture test. There's the picture. There's the tester. The stuff is green. So a brake fluid flush. Hey, you need a brake fluid flush. There's probably copper contamination in there because it's green or copper oxidation. It failed your moisture test. Oh, by the way, you haven't had it done in 3 years. It's really a good idea to do your brake fluid.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Simple.
Your air filter's great. I had one today. Your air filter's great. Your air filter box is in pieces. I don't know why, but you do know that the two bolts on this Camry are missing, right? They're broken off. I actually talked to the customer myself today because I had one service writer out. So here I was again,
Yeah.
out there, in there, out there, in there. I went through 3 cars today, which I have to finish tomorrow now because my new service writer was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him. And he said, "Well, I'm only going to do the trans service this time. Gee, I'm sorry." I said, "What are you sorry for? Do you know what's going on with your car now?" He said, "Yeah, that's why I brought it to you because of your reputation." I said, "I'm good."
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as the customer knows about it, and if they choose not to do it, well, you know what, long you've made that decision, and we can
We
work
Their
let
on
you
moving
car,
it another.
know.
Yep,
Yeah,
their car,
exactly.
their money.
yep,
We
Don't
emphasize
now.
that like this is your vehicle.
yep.
We're just here to let you know like this is what's going on with it. Whether you want to do it or decline all of it, that's fine. But I'm sleeping nice on my fluffy pillow tonight.
Yeah, most customers don't know what's going on with their car. I mean, they have one noise that they're hearing.
Yep.
They don't realize that it's multiple things that are causing that noise,
And then they
and
get
you have to bring that to
surprised.
their attention.
They get surprised because I had a customer today with I think it was a 17 Rav4 that came in for an oil change, and I'm hearing noise from my brakes. I'm like, okay. So we said, okay, well, we'll just charge you minimum to. We're gonna have the car up anyways. We're gonna pull the wheels and just do a quick brake inspection. While we did it, like his rotors, all 4 of them look like the surface of the moon, and you know, there's no brake pad. So I'm like, well, here's pictures and videos, and you need
Yeah,
brakes. And by the way,
I
your
get those
control
people that are
arms
like, "Well,
are yeah, and the control arms, the bushing was basically popped out of it, and the control arms were sitting on the frame.
Yeah,
So I said, you know what, wouldn't be a bad idea to get those replaced as well. And I gave him the estimate, and he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, you knew you needed brakes. This is what it is.
well,
You
they take it
decline all of it,
personally
get
around
oil
here.
change somewhere. Yeah.
They take it personally around here. Some of my biker groups actually we were just talking about this last night. So one of them who actually got me into I am now treasurer of Chapter 32 of Red Knights International out in New Jersey. Um, yeah, one of the many things I did on top of the fire department and this job and everything else I've done. Um, but yeah, I'm finally slowing down, Frank. I'm finally slowing down. It's good to slow down. Yeah, I grew my
too many
beard
things.
out. Yeah, too many things at once. But anyway, he was saying he's got a 2017 F-150 EcoBoost at the 10 speed. I think it was first or second year at the 10 speed. But anyway, he's had zero problems with this truck. He changes his oil every 2,500 miles, but he leaves a transmission for every 100,000. Second time he's checking the transmission, yes, it's the original powertrain after 200 plus thousand miles. Second time he's doing the transmission, and he's just going, yeah, what a ripoff it is at the dealer. It's $800. I went, are you changing the pan? No, it looked fine. Okay, there's a few $100. You got to pay the guy. There's at least 300-400 bucks. A couple. It's a couple hours worth of work, and with the tins and everything, you got to take off. I mean, and then you got to relearn it, and then you have the filter, and then the fluid. I'm like, so you're a truck driver. You understand how money works because you're one of those independent contractor through the local refinery. I'm like, why are you complaining? Why are you saying it's a ripoff? I mean, do you understand how expensive it is right now? You understand how expensive the fluid is? I mean, would you ever guess a quarter trans fluid? Frank, when you started, a quarter trans fluid costing 50, 60, 70 bucks. Would you ever guess that?
No way. It's insane how much it is anymore on
Yeah.
some of the
And it
vehicles.
just went up 37% around here for us because of oil prices.
Yeah.
Same. We got the same 40%. I think they quoted us is what it was going up for oil prices.
Yeah. When I get people arguing about like I actually one person today wanted to get an oil change on their vehicle and it says it's gonna be this much. Like, oh, that's a lot. And I'm like, well, if you want, there's a lube shop down the road that's doing it for $40, but they're probably going to be putting the same oil they use to cook their chicken nuggets in. So I mean, that's definitely up to you.
How the heck is? I saw that just last week. I saw a place that was offering non-synthetic oil changes for $49.95 and synthetic oil changes for $79.95. And I'm like,
Well,
there's no way that you're
no,
covering your cost
and
at
remember
all.
Frank, what was it a few months ago? Remember I was telling you like we're running it was a little low on car count and everything. So I just sent out a blast for like a week, like this week only. Full synthetic, the same oil we do at any time. I was doing it for $50 with the filter.
Yep.
But I was literally doing the same oil change I'd do if they were paying $100 or whatever. And just to kind of get the phones ringing and get some people through the door. And you know what? I counted. We ended up getting about, I'd say 30, 40 new customers from that. And those customers are still coming back for their regular price oil change and everything now. But I mean,
Okay.
the guys that are doing this all the time for $40, like how?
Yeah.
And I told every customer, I was like, when you're spending the $50, I'm losing. But nice to meet you, and this is my shop,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
you can. I don't know how it is in Canada, but you can if you do it right with the right accountant and bookkeeper, you could probably write it off as advertising.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
We,
so
And you
yeah,
could do it
it's
for a little while
basically it's
or for a
basically
week or so.
customer acquisition, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
How much does
losing,
it
but then
cost to get a
again,
customer? 2,500. They said. I think it is around here for me
something like
to
yeah,
get a new
yeah.
customer.
But then I figured I was like, they come in for that oil change. Maybe we're gonna check the air filter, maybe the ball joint or something like that. And if they end up
Hmm.
doing one thing, then it's worth it, right? Because they've done something else with you, and from there they become your customer, right? And they experience your service compared to where they're usually going.
Yeah. But
Well,
if it's just a
around
one
here
time deal, then
Yeah.
yeah they take
If it's a
advantage of us
one-time
around
deal,
here, though. I will say
sorry.
that
that
they take
happens
advantage
everywhere.
of us around here. Yeah, no, it's pretty big, and it's you just try. Honestly, if you want to boil down to it, I'm a little selfish. You want to know why? Because all these guys drive around me. I don't want them running into me. You know, I don't want your wheel falling off. I tell them that to them, and all of a sudden they go, "Oh, you're not digging for dollars. You're just making sure that you can get back and forth to work." Yeah, okay. Let's just put it down as that. Keeping you safe. Make
Well,
sure that I'm safe too.
you could always use the motorbike thing and be like, hey, I'm on a bike and I want to make sure that when you can see me and you can stop and you're not kill me. Be like,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
excuse. That's why I want your
I
car to
was
be
already
safe.
rear-ended by a customer who refused work. That was funny. I was on my way to my grandparents' house. They live
No way.
about another 20 minutes from the shop. Yeah, and I was at a traffic circle, and I don't have the right of way. I'm trying to enter the circle, and they're just coming through, coming through, coming through. And I'm on my Triumph. It was years ago before I even had my Indian. And I'm on my Triumph, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
this lady keeps inching closer and closer and closer. And finally, she just ever so slightly went bink, but bent my blinker in. I was like, "Yep, that's it." Shut off the bike, kick the kickstand down, got off the bike, and turned around. And I said, "You just hit me. I'm calling the cops." And turns out it was a lady that I about 7 months later. She was awful with her car. 7 months later, the car came in. It was an Infiniti M class. She windowed the motor,
Yep.
put a new window side inspection port out the left side. I was like, cool. I get to be the one to tell her that she screwed up her car. I'm down for this.
Nice.
Talk
Jeez.
about karma. So
Yeah. No
Oh my
kidding.
god.
yeah,
These
yeah, it was about 10 years ago.
sometimes life just works its magic like that. You get my favorite thing is when I shouldn't say my favorite thing, but again, screw it. I do like it when a customer denies or declines like a crazy amount of work. Even if it's a couple grand or 3 grand, and then 3 weeks later they don't call. The car just shows up on a tow truck, and then you just get that overwhelming feeling of I told you
Hmm.
that
Yep.
this was going to happen. And then you get to make that phone call. Uh, Mrs. Smith, what seems to be the problem? I see your Corolla was towed in. Oh, well, I remember you were saying I had a little bit of a looseness or something like that in that ball joint, and I was driving around the roundabout, and well, as you can see, the wheel's not there anymore, and I don't know. I heard some scrapey noise, and someone told me that the spindle, I don't know what that is, but that might be broken too. And oh, and they said something about my rotor is broken. So, that little job that they should have just replaced the tie rod and, a ball joint turns into, a crazy amount of work.
It will. I don't think that part of this industry will ever change. As much as we try and we push for that,
And we
that will
we
never
try a
change.
lot, man. And and the worst thing, I know the industry doesn't like this, but I've discounted jobs to tell the customer, look, like you need this tie rod. I'm gonna discount it because I just want you to fix it. Like the tie rod is, my cost on the tie rod is $40. I'm gonna just it's $60 for the tie rod. Give me a little bit of labor. Let me do an alignment so you don't kill someone.
Yeah,
But still, nope. It's not in my budget. And then you open up their trunk to if they're coming for tires to put their winter tires in, and they got a bunch of empties in the back, 300-400 bucks worth of empties. And I'm like, well, you had enough money for the Bush and the Jack Daniels and this and that, but nope, you don't want to keep your tire on the road.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's another thing. You guys get these cars in twice a year because you have snow tires.
Minimum. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we sport tires too. So
Yeah. No, we're not like that in
we
Jersey. I know Colorado has a snow tire initiative.
yep.
Jersey, you run it, it's your car. So I mean, it is very, very much your car. I can't keep somebody away from their car. I can ask them to tow it to the end of the driveway. I've only had to ask that once because the guy said, "Yeah, my brake line's broken. Can't you just put stop leak in it?" I think you guys are just trying to rip me off, and I'm like,
Just put a
"Okay,
just
you're
put a
gonna
rubber
sign
hose on it.
here."
Your
And
signs.
I'm not, and now I'm requiring you to tow it to the end of the driveway. No, we're done. We're
Um.
done.
Jeez.
So okay, you said
Yeah.
you don't have a snow tire initiative there,
No.
but what you get inclement weather there where you are?
Yeah. Let's see now. So 10 years ago, when I was fire chief, we got pounded with 32 inches of snow in like 12 hours. That was our
Jeez.
only storm that year. This year, we got
Shut down the whole
anywhere
city
between
like that.
4 to 8 inches every 4 days.
Hmm.
And then we'll have years we won't have anything.
Okay, yeah.
So,
So you don't have a snow tire initiative. We don't have an initiative here, I don't think.
But it's like basically if it's snowing, like 90% of the people are running on snow tires here.
Yeah, but it's not
yeah, no,
mandatory.
not around here.
Not
Like
yet. I
upward
can't
Jeff,
wait till it is though.
no, upward Jeff is in Kingston and north of there it's mandatory to have some
Mandatory.
uh,
Yeah.
snow tires.
Yeah,
But
yeah. In Quebec, yeah.
yeah, down here it's very highly encouraged.
It
With
should be
no,
mandatory with the amount
it
of
should be
accidents
mandatory,
like
and
that.
it was in the 70s, I think, 70s and 80s, and then they took the mandatory away. Which I don't know. Ontario never takes anything away; they just always keep adding it, especially taxes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you go like to the west, prairies and stuff, there they actually can run studded tires and stuff because they
And
have a lot of
chains and all that, yeah.
chains and studded tires.
We can run
But
studded tires and chains 6 months out of the year from November to April. It's legal. It's legal here. They
Oh
took it
yeah.
away for decades. You couldn't run studs and chains because it tore up the roads
Yeah,
too
I think
bad.
if I was in Jersey or something, I'd probably just run all weather tires and call it a day. Some really good all weather tires, and that way, if it does get some precipitation, who cares?
You know, my truck. I run through Goodyear tires. My Grand Cherokee used to run through Goodyear tires every 18,000 miles. I got rid of them and put Michelin's on. That was good for 70,000 each set.
If they
When I
don't
got my
crack, you know.
truck, what's that?
I said
Oh,
if
they
those
don't
Michelin's
crack. Yeah,
don't crack.
my last set cracked real bad, real
yeah,
bad.
but they'll last forever. So who cares?
Yeah. Um. Well, when you're drive. Okay, joke is in Jersey, the last 2 digits of the highway are the speed limit before the state trooper pulls you over. So you have a posted, and then you have an actual. And
Yeah.
I tell you, I kid you not, I'm doing 75 in the slow lane. So 75 miles an hour is what, about 110 kilometers an hour up by you guys? 120?
Something like that.
I'm doing
Yeah, about
75 in
110 or
the
so.
yeah, 75 in the slow lane, and there goes Grandma on the Prius, just passing me like I'm standing still in the middle lane. I'm like, okay, welcome to NASCAR North around here. But anyway, my truck came with the Goodyear LS2s. And I
Yep.
went, crap. Well, the Wranglers I had on my Wrangler, the Goodyears I had on my Grand Cherokees, I was like, okay, these are going to be gone in like 18 to 20,000 miles tops. I got almost 40,000 miles out of them. I got the 36. I had a few thousand miles left in them, and I had a blowout one night. So, which is another story in itself, but it adds to Compton's TPMS tirade that it goes through, and I'm a firm believer in that. But
Mhm.
anyway, I said they're the cheapest ones. I got 36,000 miles out of them. I'm putting another set on. I'm now at 75,000, and I
Mhm.
just swapped out the set.
Yeah, it's
I
really it's a hit and miss. I mean, you're doing well with
Yeah,
those.
and I'm back in the Goodyear LS2s. They don't make them anymore. I found out they stopped making them beginning of the year. I'm back in
Yep.
them. My truck is steady as can be. Um, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I couldn't believe it.
I don't think we've sold. I don't think I've sold a Goodyear tire in maybe in a year. I might sell one or two sets at the most.
Yep,
Yeah, we
same
we
here.
don't sell them much either.
We sell an insane amount of Hankooks and Kumos, like insane amounts of those two brands, and the price is right, and we get insane deals on them. So that's pretty much what we go through.
Hand cooks are a big mover. I actually got a couple of my customers, and actually I bought a set from my Wrangler of Rettersteins. So I got
Who?
Retterstein ATs on my Wrangler. Those things are
Oh,
sticky as heck.
it starts with a VRED, right? Redestein.
Retterstein Pinzas, sticky as
Yeah.
heck. I was fooling around in my a parking lot I can go to that I plow, and I just wanted to see what they would do in the snow. First snowstorm I had with them, it was kind of icy too. I was like, perfect. I'll go do a couple donuts. I'll see how the car handles in the snow because I plow with my Jeep, and I'll see
Yep.
what goes on. Right, I caught a patch like maybe this big of blacktop. I almost rolled the Jeep. Those things grabbed it and held onto it. I have not had a problem with the Vettersteins. I couldn't believe
Wow.
it. Yeah. I was just trying to find a 30-inch plus tire because you in that size, you're down to the BFG KOs. There's a lot of good tires that they've had for years
AO2s,
because
yeah.
the size isn't as popular. They're getting rid of them. And
Man.
you go for that tire. Like, I just wanted to put my MS2s back on. I had Michelin's for years on that thing. I just want, the cracks were pretty big. Sorry, Frank. I saw the cord through the cracks. I was like, nope, not this winter. New tires.
Yeah, I think
Knee
when
deep
you
in
see the
rubber.
cords, when it see the cords, that might be time to get rid of them at some point.
Yeah, I was this thick still on that tread, but no, I couldn't do it. Yeah.
That's
You
Yeah,
know,
they
no.
wore
Then
like
uh,
steel.
then you
one
gotta let them go.
one
Yeah.
question I didn't get a chance to mention to Frank, but one question I wanted to ask our guests, especially ones that are techs, if you could give a piece of advice for someone looking to get into this field, maybe there's a young apprentice or somebody that's maybe not even in the automotive field, but they're like, hey, you know what, this looks like a lot of fun. Like, what's one piece of advice that you could offer to a listener, if they're thinking about getting into this field that you wish someone would have given you?
Persevere. You got to
Hmm.
you can't just have you're going to have to keep going. There are going to be hard days. But you got to persevere. You got to persevere to go take some training. You got to be prepared. You got to prepare yourself financially. Like, you got to have your ducks in a row, and you just got to be disciplined on it, and you have to persevere on that point no matter what.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that.
you know,
Yeah, that's a
you're
good
not
answer for sure. I like
you're
that.
not gonna you're not going to be a millionaire here. All right. If you want to be a place where you're comfortable and you can help people, help yourself, learn a lot, and you're good with that, um, then we're good. If you're not good with that, you need to find something else.
No, I think that's a good answer. Usually if someone asks me that question, the first thing I can say is ask for help. Don't
Yeah.
don't just go on Google and try to get your answers from Google. Ask someone that's in the industry. Ask someone that's been in it. Ask someone that's retired from it and their experiences. I mean, you want to get advice. You got to get advice from real people that are in the trenches with the wrenches, right? So
Yeah.
I
And we're
like
gonna
your
get
answer.
salty. We're, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get salty because we gotta stop. You get to that point, it's like you're so focused on the car and you're trying to get it out and you're trying to get another one done. You just again one more car, and all of a sudden somebody's got to like stop you and go, "Hey, can I use a 3/4 wrench with the 19 millimeter because I can't find my 19 millimeter, but 3/4 looks like it works." A newbie, and you're like, "It might work," and you're like looking at him like, "I gotta stop and I gotta say something not snarky," it's kind of ingrained in our personalities. I guess you could say the guys who are really successful here have type
yep.
A personalities, you know. And then
You know,
getting back to training, if you haven't noticed, those type A personalities kind of completely deflate when we're at training events.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's
and
great.
It's all at that. Then it's about camaraderie. It's about being together
100%.
and pushing forward and being your best.
It's the culture of the industry, right? I mean, if we want to change the industry, like they say, we have to be part of the solution, not the problem. And if we,
Yeah,
if we're going to change the industry, then we really got to be looking out for its best interest. And one thing is these younger men and women that are trying to get into the industry, coach them, talk to them, listen. That's one thing that a lot of people don't do is listen, because if we can listen to what their concerns are, we can overcome those objectives, give them advice if this is something that they're gonna hopefully succeed in, or if it's something that this something may not be for them at all. But if we give them the best chance and the best advice, I mean, then we're doing our part.
I always say that it's gonna be a hard industry, like it really is, but it's fun. Like I always tell everyone, I've
yep,
enjoyed my years that I've been in here. Like
Yeah.
all of the cars that I fixed, that I struggled through, but it's like at the end of the day, that thing is leaving and it's driving away. Like having a car tow away for whatever reason, it's the worst feeling. But when it gets towed in and
Yep.
then it drives away, man, it's so rewarding. And
and
if
and
you
when
can get
someone
yourself
says
to that
thank
point,
you, imagine that.
what's that?
And when someone says thank you for fixing my car, I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I mean, it's the small
I
things.
yeah. I had one
thank you.
today where
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
customer had tried to fix it himself and swap parts already and done all kinds of things and
Yep.
said, okay, I'll leave it up to you. And it ended up being a broken wire, and I was able to fix it. And man, it ran so good after. And I ran it out. There's so much pride in that. Even after all these years, I still get that feeling. It's like that was really satisfying, like really satisfying. And if you can get to that point in your career where you do a job, whether it's like a brake job or an oil change or anything, it doesn't matter what the job is, and it's really satisfying. You're just like,
Yep.
man, I'm really proud I did that job, knowing that that car is leaving, knowing that that car is not going to rear end my motorbike at a traffic circle,
Yep.
knowing that what I did made that car safe for them, for everyone else on the road.
Yeah.
That is always and should always be the goal. Money is a good byproduct of that, but the goal should always be that you are happy with your work, that you're proud of your work, and that your work shows the ethics that you have. That
100%.
you can't say it enough, but that's how I feel about this industry.
and it's funny you mentioned money being a byproduct. I was just saying this to my new service writer we're training up. Um, our profitability is a byproduct of serving people. If you can get that through your head and realize all the little mechanics you got to put together to get that, that's when you know you're becoming successful and you're actually achieving some goals in this industry. It's difficult.
Yep. Yep.
And
Very much so.
for any owners listening, one piece of advice, really, I just want to put it out there again, is just take care of your people. Because if you're, besides the fact if you are a tech yourself or not, if you don't have your team members, you don't have a shop. You're gonna have open doors and empty bays.
Yep.
So take care of your techs, take care of your service writers, give them freaking raises, take care of them, let them make some money. And you know what? Honestly, people laugh when I tell them, but one of my favorite parts of the week is on Friday writing payroll checks. They're like, "Why?" And I'm like, I love paying my people, and I love when they get excited when they've put in a heavy week and they've got, and I pay overtime. They're like, "You pay overtime?" I'm like, "Yeah, I pay overtime because they freaking work." And when they get all these extra overtime hours and they look at their check and they're like, "Holy crap." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, don't spend it all by Monday. I need you here at 9 a.m." But
Yeah.
it's a really
Do it
good
again.
feeling when your techs feel appreciated. And again, say thank you to your techs, say thank you to your service writers, say thank you to your team members, because without them, all you are is just a name on a board and a phone number.
You said 9
Yeah.
a.m. What do you guys do? Start in the middle of the day?
Well, I run banking hours, Frank. Sorry.
Oh man,
Well, Frank,
I
you're
feel
doing
sorry.
4 days a week now, right?
My techs are doing 4 days a week. I am doing 5 days a week because I've got
Yeah,
I've
you
got
always
two
put in an
techs and
extra
they're
day.
staggering, right? One guy's
Right.
off Monday, one guy's off Friday. So, but and I get to work all 5 days. I'm excited about it. I get to work all 5 days, 11 hours a day.
Oh,
Nicholas, I think we really need to have a part two with you, man. Um, I think this conversation's been awesome. I did promise my wife that I would be ending it around 10:15, and we're we're there
there's
now.
the balance.
And
There's the balance. And I'll be a little more
exactly.
prepared. I figured I could do it through my
Oh
tablet,
no, no,
my one
honestly,
mainframe computer. So
no.
just
This
my
has
camera went
really been a
by.
great conversation. And Frank, thanks for finding Nicholas. I mean, I'm really glad that we were able to chat with you tonight, and hopefully we'll get you back on. And I got your contact info Frank gave me. I want to definitely keep in touch with you. And
Yeah,
if you're ever in
I'm
this
busy
area,
during the
let's
day,
definitely
so
get together.
yeah, if I don't answer you, start slamming me on Messenger. See, I check that pretty regularly, but that's still
No, for
because
sure.
I'm concentrating on the car. I'm concentrating on the
Yeah,
customer during the day. I got 10 hours
you
where
gotta
I'm
get to work.
not really concentrating on my phone.
Yeah,
I
you gotta get to
usually
work.
message Frank right midday when I know he's going to be extremely busy.
Yep.
And then if he doesn't answer, I'll just call the store and I'll talk to Margarita and be like, "What's
She
Frank doing?"
she said Aniz has really been trying to get a hold of you. He called the office today, and I
I
checked my
called the
phone.
office by mistake. That's the funny thing.
You hadn't even sent me a message, and I'm like, I
Because
don't know, whatever.
usually I just message you, Frank, but I got the new phone, so I got to set it up properly. But for some reason, I called and then Margarita picked up, and I'm like, "Crap, I'm calling the store."
Well, and sometimes if somebody calls my phone and I'm like, I don't got time for this. Hey, Margarita, here, answer this for me. So
Oh man, but
sometimes you get her either way.
Nicholas, man, thanks so much for talking with us tonight. Um,
Thanks for having me.
for all the listeners, thank you so much for supporting us. We've gotten messages here and there saying that you're enjoying the podcast, and honestly, we really really appreciate all the love. And please follow us on Spotify and YouTube. And yeah, until next time, thank you so much for all the love. And Nicholas, hang on the line here. And good night, everyone.